What a big night it promises to be here at the Australian Open. It is one of the next generation of superstars, no question about that. Stefanos Tsitsipas from Greece, who has been just wonderful to watch in recent times, up against a legend of the game, Roger Federer.
Men's singles, fourth round action. Please welcome to Rod Laver Arena, Cypriot sensation, tournament 15th seed, from Greece, Stefanos Tsitsipas. And his opponent, a 20-time Grand Slam champion, a 6-time Australian Open champion, defending his title here at Melbourne Park, from Switzerland, Roger Federer.
That's the type of reception you get when you are a 20-time major winner. One wonders what number Tsitsipas will get to in the course of his career. Certainly destined, you feel, to win one at some stage. I know it always feels a little premature, and certainly nothing is given in this game, particularly when you still have 3 of the big 4 playing as well as they are. But he does have that little bit of X factor, does the Greek superstar, as did the Swiss maestro when he first came onto tour. It took him a little while to finally get over the finishing line at Wimbledon in 2003. He's never looked back since. He's had longevity and titles to boot. 22 degrees tonight. It's been an absolutely beautiful day, a great day here in Melbourne as well for the Australians, with Ash Barty getting through to the quarterfinals. Delighted to say I have another great Australian next to me for this one, John Fitzgerald. What a treat this could be.
Thank you, Pedge. It's always a pleasure to be with you. And yes, the future against the establishment here. Tsitsipas is an exciting young player. He's athletic, he's big, he's quick. It'll be interesting to see how he handles this situation against the maestro, as we should call him, because he is.
Baxter, Roger. Roger Baxter. That's it, Roger. Before we start, can we have a photo for the media, please? Facing this way. Thank you very much. Yep, thank you. Gentlemen, just a reminder, we have the serve clock on the scoreboards and in the corners for you. 6 in play, new ball 7 and 9. Machine calling the nets and using Hawkeye. Please let me know as soon as you can when you like to challenge. No. Any questions? No. Baxter, who would you like to ask? You've got Rod Laver or ANZ? Rod Laver. It's Rod Laver. Serve. Have a good match.
Always an air of anticipation about what's about to come when Federer steps on court. What new masterpiece is he going to create? As it is with all of the great players, something special just around the corner, and it really feels as though this tonight could be something that is utterly absorbing and enthralling, with Tsitsipas on the other side. He's another creator of his own destiny.
Yeah, I think we pretty much know what we're going to get from Roger. It's going to be something sublime, something mercurial. But we'll learn a lot about this young man tonight. He's the future. Might be a good nickname for him, I think. Still only 20 years of age, and he's already ranked 15 in the world. Won the next gen ATP finals last year. So he's at the head of the pack of the next generation. We will learn a lot about him tonight in this situation.
It was an enjoyable contest between him and Roger at the Hopman Cup. 6 and 6, of course. Very little between the two of them. We'll touch on that again in a minute. As you can see, his road through here. Berrettini in the opening round dropped the opening set. Little nerves, I'm sure, there. But he bookended it well with another tiebreaker that he got through. Viktor Troicki in that second round. That was a pretty tough encounter as well for him. And again, he's at that stage as well, Tsitsipas, where he's coming into these tournaments with a fair bit of pressure on his shoulders. Everybody's expecting him to go deep. It's not always that easy, particularly against Basilashvili, who hits the ball harder than almost anyone else, who'd taken a set off Djokovic in Doha. But he's navigated the first 3 rounds here impressively, as has this man.
Well, he hasn't had any trouble, has he, getting to this round of 16, Roger? And usually when the great players save their energy a little bit in the first 3 rounds, they get very dangerous when the second week starts. So he'll be in full gear, full throttle tonight, because he hasn't been taxed at all really in his first 3 matches. He had a bit of a tough one against Daniel Evans, but still won in 3 straight sets. That was physical, but no 5-set marathons for Roger. Isterman, Evans, Taylor Fritz hasn't lost a set.
Big flat hitters of the ball as well, and he's got another one tonight.
It's always fun though, isn't it, when you know you're going to see 3, 4 or 5 sets of Roger Federer. It just gets your attention like nothing else if you're a tennis fan.
Tsitsipas, if you haven't watched him before, is
2 minutes
throwback as well. I think it'd be harsh to say he's a relic of the 1980s with the way that he plays, as we see James Gothamong in terms of his sort of stroke production. But he is a little old school as well, Tsitsipas. Roger talking about that this week. Of course, there's the first meeting bar that Hopman Cup encounter that they had. Roger talking about that, about how he had grown up with different technology, which has made him perhaps a little bit more versatile, a little bit more variety because of that than some of the modern players. But the sense that Tsitsipas has grasped the potential within himself and has stimulated his own creativity about a style that he wants to produce, along with his father, Kostelis, and it's impressive.
Well, I think he's an impressive young man. I interviewed him once in Perth at the Hopman Cup, and he was, you know, he looked you straight in the eye. He was pleasant, he was thoughtful, gave, you know, terrific answers in English. You know, he's a player of the future. He'll be a star, I think. But before we can talk him up too much, it takes this experience. He's got the exuberance of youth. We know he's got potential. But when you match it up, exuberance of youth can work both ways in a situation like this, can't it? It can all go wrong against a player like Federer. But I tend to think he'll be very competitive for a period of time. It's when you get to the end of the first set or halfway through the second, we'll really start to find out what he's got at this young age.
Won the toss and chose to serve.
I mean, it's a rare thing for a young player to come out. I remember Mark Philippoussis beating Pete Sampras here when he was 19, so a year younger than Tsitsipas, and he just played an extraordinary match and just burst onto the scene, beat Pete Sampras on this court. But it's a tough thing for a youngster to come out in this situation. Best of 5 sets and stay with a player of this magnitude for a long period of time. So